This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of comments for people saying that Anthony Joshua is starting to crack under the pressure because he's becoming a forgotten man ever since Tyson Fury's come back and he fought Deontay Wilder. And I really have to laugh at that point because he's not. He's still the A-side, clear A-side. Okay, but there are certain cracks that are starting to appear with Anthony Joshua, and that's not a negative. I actually like this part, okay? Because people say that Anthony Joshua, he's very militant, he's very structured, and he's politically correct, and all that kind of thing. Obviously, because he's got an OBE recently, and he's had media training clearly, all that kind of stuff. And suddenly now, he's starting to do and say things that are not the norm for what we know about Anthony Joshua. And as I said, first of all, I like that, okay? I have nothing against him being the politically correct, media-trained way. I have nothing against that at all. But I do like it when he shows his real side at times. I'm not saying he hasn't been shown his real side. That is his real side. He is a humble person. He is a very laid-back, easy person. But from time to time, I'm glad that we see him getting frustrated. And it would be fair to say that this is probably the very first time in Anthony Joshua's career that he's not getting his own way. He wants Wilder. Wilder is just being an absolute coward about it, okay? And for whatever reason, there's a whole fan base out there, not all of them, but a section of his fan base that just don't want the fight, and they will back up Wilder no matter what. When their original claims were, we just want undisputed, we don't care about this, we don't care about that, then suddenly now they do care about this and care about that. Okay, so it's very, very two-faced of them. And Joshua, in my opinion, is starting to realise that you're not going to get your own way. As in, you may want Wilder. It doesn't mean you're going to get him. No matter the fact that Wilder says it's not about money, it's about legacy, one face, one name, all this kind of thing. And the fact that Joshua has offered him stupid amounts of money, but he's still not taking the bait. He's acting all girly about it. And this is probably the first time that Joshua is going, hang on a minute, there's a fight here that I want. First time when he was playing hard to get with the negotiations, okay, fine, we'll kind of let that one slide, okay? Because I did have a mandatory, I had to fight him at some point anyway. We'll get that done, then afterwards, I want Wilder, and it's looking less and less likely that he's going to get Wilder. And yes, he's probably frustrated about it, but he's not going to openly say that. But of course, when he sat at ringside for Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte, obviously he's there, he's hired as part of the Sky team to do the commentary, punditry work, all that kind of thing. Bearing in mind that Derek Chisora is a very good friend of Anthony Joshua. Joshua idolised Derek Chisora. They come from Finchley and all that kind of thing, and he was desperate for Derek Chisora to beat Dillian Whyte. And again, so many people over the last year or so saying because Dillian Whyte is chasing Deontay Wilder, then he's protecting Anthony Joshua. When I've been saying to you guys all along, and people here in the UK know this fact very, very well, Joshua and Dillian Whyte hate each other. They absolutely detest each other. They can be sociable at times, but they just don't like each other. And Dillian has a way, not intentionally, but he has a way to get under the skin of Anthony Joshua. So of course, when he sat there at ringside, he's seeing his man doing a pretty good job. Okay, in Derek Chisora, he's coming forward and he's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. He's looking good, he's boxing well, his defense is pretty good. And Joshua's thinking, actually, Dillian Whyte could lose here. Excellent. That's what's going through his mind. And when that big left hook came in round number 11 and Derek Chisora goes down and out cold, a lot of you guys may have seen Anthony Joshua's reaction. He threw down the microphone and was like, no, like that. So at this point, he's gutted that this has just happened right before his eyes. So right from then, he's in a bad mood. Dillian Whyte is asked after the fight, what do you want? And he says, I want that lanky git down there, as in Joshua. Joshua's already in a bad mood. He's like, you what? What did you just call me? So he got up on the apron, and again, Sky Sports wouldn't let him in the ring. Joshua is the face of Sky Sports on boxing, and they wouldn't let him in the ring. In addition to that, the crowd is booing Anthony Joshua. He's never experienced that. He's experienced sections, because there's always going to be sections who don't like him. But when it feels like the whole arena is booing Joshua, this is a new experience for him. He's like, what the hell is going on? This isn't normal. But again, you see, this goes back to the fact that people who bought tickets turned up to watch Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora. And a lot of them Dillian Whyte fans. And if you're a Dillian Whyte fan, for the most part, you don't like Joshua. If you're a Joshua fan, you don't like Dillian Whyte, you don't like Wilder, you don't like Tyson Fury. For me, I like Tyson Fury, I like Dillian Whyte, I like Joshua, I like all British heavyweights. Just that when these guys come together for a fight, I will pick a side on the night. That's just how I am. But a lot of people don't see it that way. It's a case of, at heavyweight, we'll support one guy and only. And that's pretty much what it was. They were booing Joshua. Joshua was like, hang on a minute. And of course, when he's saying to Dillian Whyte, listen, you do deserve a title shot. And he's correct. Dillian Whyte does deserve a title shot. Out of all the heavyweights out there right now, Dillian is number one for deserving a title shot. He's well overdue one. He's earned that right. And when he's hearing Joshua saying, you do deserve one, but you're number three in my priority. Number one being Wilder, because it's undisputed. Number two being Tyson Fury, because a lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis on the lineal. Bearing in mind, Wilder and Fury have been chastising Joshua for quite some time. He wants to get his hands on these guys. Then, if he can't get these two, then it will be Dillian Whyte. This goes back to my original point. He's not getting his own way. He wants Wilder. Wilder ain't biting. For no amount of money, he's just got his mangina strapped firmly on, and he don't want Joshua. Joshua don't like that. Tyson Fury says, I'm not going to be back until probably about the summertime. That's not what Joshua wants to hear, because he's got April 13th. He wants an opponent there, and he wants Wilder or Fury. Dillian is an afterthought. But as I said, Dillian has a way of getting under Joshua's skin when you've got the crowd booing as well as, and Dillian, and rightfully so, is kicking off at Joshua saying, I don't want to hear you say that. Either you're fighting me or you're not. I'm not going to put my career on hold waiting for you to see what it is that you're going to do. And Dillian is right. He is right. But ultimately, Dillian was in fight mode still, okay? He'd just gone through a war with Derek Chisora, okay? He's in fight mode, okay? He doesn't have his business head on at that point. Now, if you asked him about it, he'd probably say, yeah, you know what, I understand what it is that Joshua's saying. Of course, it's undisputed. If I was in Joshua's situation, I would also be wanting to get my hands on Wilder, because that's an easy win for Joshua. But as it is, Dillian Whyte kicked off. That wound up Anthony Joshua. And when have you ever heard Joshua say, I am level above all the other heavyweights out there? This is what he said live on Sky Sports right after that confrontation. Dillian Whyte is an idiot. And if Dillian wants it, then I will knock him out cold again. And I'm tired of all the fans saying Joshua's taking easy touches. But Joshua hasn't been taking easy touches. He has the best resume in the heavyweight division, bar none. Nobody's even close to him. Actually, the closest to him would probably be Dillian Whyte or Alexander Povetkin. Both of these guys Joshua's already beaten. But ultimately, Dillian Whyte has a way of getting under his skin, and Joshua went out of media train mode, went out of politically correct mode as such, and showed what he's really about, which is, I want to fight and I want to screw people up. I want to mess people up in that ring, and I want to see people crumble before me. Basically, he's saying, I am king and you all will bow in front of me. That's what he's saying to the rest of the heavyweights. And if Dillian Whyte wants that work, and if he ends up fighting Dillian, he doesn't want to hear people saying how this is another cherry pick. Well, Dillian Whyte is the toughest guy out there. He's probably, in my opinion, the only guy who could actually beat Anthony Joshua. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. A lot of people don't want to hear that. But that is the facts of it. Dillian Whyte could legitimately beat Anthony Joshua. Joshua he just won't like it at all. But ultimately, he can. Wilder is a one-trick pony with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury can beat Anthony Joshua, but he will frustrate him. But Dillian Whyte will not only frustrate him at times, but try his best to knock him out. So yeah, I think cracks are appearing. I think that's pretty obvious. And as I said, when have you ever heard Joshua say that somebody is an idiot and I'm a level above all these heavyweights? And 2019, you're going to find out exactly what it is that I'm about. Because before he's like, well, you know what, my team is this and it's all about structure and it's about building. Now it's a case of I'm on a hurt mission. I want Wilder. I want Tyson Fury. If I'm not going to get my own way and I end up fighting Dillian Whyte, I don't want to hear nobody saying that this is a fight that I don't want, that this is an easy touch. Because he knows Dillian Whyte is not an easy touch. He knows it. And if he does actually think that he is, then he could be in for a very, very rude awakening April 13th. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. But as I said, this is probably the first time Joshua's not getting his own way. And are cracks appearing? Potentially. But I like these cracks. I like the fact that Joshua is getting into angry mode. I like it. And if he ends up fighting Dillian Whyte, it's not because he hasn't tried to fight Wilder. Because there's too many people out there who can plainly see that Wilder is avoiding Joshua for undisputed, but yet won't admit it. And Joshua knows that. And who else out there is better than taking on Dillian Whyte? There is nobody. Nobody at all. Dillian Whyte would walk through Wilder. Easy work. But people just don't want to hear that. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it all. You drop me yours. Click the thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.